up, everybody? Well, I got another FIREBAT mini PC gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're finally going to do Red Dead Redemption 2 on here. We already did the original, or technically the remastered original, but that's neither here nor there. And we've tried this on every other computer I own, I believe multiple times in fact, but I went and searched and I have not done it at all on this particular system. I don't think I played it on the Lenovo either, but unless somebody I guess maybe I might just do that later today too. I'm kind of just waiting and doing stuff until 4:30 when I can finish up that Digimon. Well, not finish up, but get more done. I'll still have to do my most powerful systems like the next day. By the time I'm done, probably around like 10 or something like that. Either way though, so I figured, hey, let's go and do this request. Seeing as though I just got a request today, and I think 3 or 4 people before him also requested this game on this system. So I was like, hey, let's finally get that done. Every time I remember to do it, there's new games coming out and other requests that I was already doing. So now I can finally get to it. So let's stop blabbing and let's get to gaming. Well, all right, let's have a quick look at the settings here. Unfortunately, OBS did not work. Very often it does not like Vulkan either for some reason. That's why it's a great tool for if you have a capture card, but out of all my recording software, it fucks up the most by far. Shadowplay and Relive are not perfect by any means. I've had them fuck up on instances too, like not getting sound or just having really laggy gameplay or something like that. But still. Oh yes, still does shit like this with a black screen. Nope, I don't like that game either. Black screen. Anyway though, those are the settings, and obviously even though we're probably not going to get good FPS, you could always turn on FSR. It's just most people don't like FSR, and they don't even want to use FSR 3, let alone FSR 2. So I feel like most people would rather just, you know, get 30, 40 FPS, although we're probably going to be in the 20s if I'm honest. We're going to run a benchmark test too. And again, I could have turned advanced settings on, but I figured that is not a good idea on a system like this, as it's probably not even going to handle high all too well. Although who knows, maybe it'll surprise me and it'll get 30, 40 FPS and be completely playable even on high. But hey, let's wonder no more, run a benchmark, and then we'll get ourselves some gameplay afterwards. Well, alright, just as I suspected. High 1080p native is a little bit too much for it. So, I'll go run around for like a minute or so, and then I'll try turning on FSR and seeing if that can actually bring us up above 30, which is what most people consider the bare minimum for playable. So, let's go get a little bit of gameplay, shall we? Alright, here we are in game. And as you can see, it's effectively a slideshow. Oh shit, that's not the way out of here. We're getting like 20 FPS. I mean, some people can probably play like this, but I feel like most people are going to go, nah, it's a little too slow for me, champ. That's just my opinion, though. But like I said, we'll run around for like a minute or so like this, and then I can't remember if this is a game that can let you even change settings. If it does, I'll pop on FSR for a second. Or if I have to, I'll quit out of the game and turn it on for you guys real quick. It's just, that's the lame thing about making these kinds of videos, when you gotta quit all the way out of the game just to change one setting. It sucks. Makes everything take 10 times longer as you wait for loading and all that stuff over and over again, but I don't care, I still have fun with it. Yeah, if it wasn't for the low frame rate, this would actually be pretty nice. And it's so close to being playable, or bare minimum of playable. I think a little FSR should be able to help it along. It's not going to look pretty, but that's exactly what it's for. It's for helping out weak systems like this, or older systems, to give it that little kick in the pants to actually be playable. But some people are just very against that. Although most people also wouldn't be trying to play 1080p high on this thing. I just do this because some people do want to try that or see if it's even possible. And most of the time it's just not going to happen on this thing. It's just a little too weak. It's much better suited as a 720p box or 900p box. But anyway, let's see. Can you change settings in-game? I don't think so. Oh, you can. Cool. I'm sure there's some that if you change it goes, we have to restart. Because I think GTA was the same way. GTA 5. Alright, I think that was all the way at the bottom. Yes, there it is. Let's start off with that. Apply. So it doesn't crash or anything. Oh. Some of the modified settings will not be available until you restart. Well, we're definitely getting more FPS, so I don't think that is correct. I was going to say, that sounds absolutely stupid. But yeah, so quality gets you a little bit of an uptick, but Still not what I would consider super playable. But better. Definitely doesn't look quite as crisp anymore, but yeah, you can really see. FSR2, you can really see those artifacts when you're like, anything in motion. Look at his legs and whatnot. You can just, even through my camera, I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to see all the artifacting. But hey, you gotta make do with what you got when you got a system like this. So let's try turning it down a little more. Can I just go... Oh yeah, I forgot, it's got advanced settings, so it'd be just about as slow going from the bottom. Might even be slower. Let's try balanced. Awesome. I'm just gonna lurk around the cops. Alright, so now it kind of looks absolutely like dog shit. But now we're getting playable FPS. But like I was saying, it's like a pointless endeavor. The whole point of 1080p high is to make it look nice, and if you have to turn on FSR, which makes it look like this, what's the point? But figured some people were curious, so figured we would cover that real quick. And I'm not going to go all the way down to performance. It already looks bad enough as it is. We don't need to be doing that. And you still can't stay over 30 all the time. Anyway, let's go drop it down to 900p in medium settings and see what that does for us. I'm hoping that will at least be somewhat playable. That seems way more realistic. Well, alright, now we're dropping it down to 900p in medium settings. I turned FSR back off and I restarted the system after changing it down to medium. That's a lot of stuff to change, and it says when you change major settings, it might need to be restarted, so I figured, alright, for that we will restart. We're not restarting for FSR changes, though. That seems absolutely asinine. Oh yeah, we're not doing any of the advanced settings. That would not work well on here. I don't think. Well, especially seeing how just 1080p high ran anyway. So, let's run that bench real quick, and then we'll see what's what. Well, alright, much better this time. We got playable FPS the whole time. I didn't see it drop under 30. Even the benchmark says as much. We got minimum of 31, max of 65, and we averaged 42. Which may not be the greatest, but hey, at least it's playable now, and I think that's still 12 FPS more than the consoles can do. I still don't know why Rockstar didn't make a freaking update for them. I know they're capable of it. It's just kind of, they probably just figured, screw it, let's just work on GTA 6. We don't need to worry about this other nonsense. They'll forgive us once we launch that. That's my guess anyway. But, now, let's go hop ourselves into the game, shall we? Alright. Here we are in game. And yeah. Much better. Obviously it doesn't look as good as high, but I'll take playable FPS and slightly worse looks over 25 FPS any day. Or barely getting over 30 with FSR unbalanced, having it look like absolute dog shit. Man, he sure can play that thing. That's the exact thing I tried to play as a kid, and I couldn't even handle that. I couldn't get the air blowing right. And I was horrible at reading sheet music, so, I mean, combine those two things together, and you're just not destined to be a musician, unfortunately. And that's okay. I always wanted to do the bass or the guitar anyway, but that's even more complicated, so I figured if I can't even handle this, there's no way I'm going to be able to, like, learn piano, guitar, or any of these other violin, anything like that. I'm just going to, like, steamroll and be made a fool of. So, I did what a sensible person would do and just go, nope, this isn't for me, and didn't do it. But I tried for the whole school year. I didn't just give up instantly after a week. Gave it a good old shot. But even the music teacher was kind of like, yeah, I don't think this is for you, buddy. I'm like, yeah, I know. At least he wasn't a dick about it. Man, oh man. Even as old as this game is, on medium settings, it still looks really, really good. And the fact that it can run on something this weak is absolutely great. Oh yeah, I forgot. How do I call my horse in this game? I forget. It's been a while. Is it that? Nope. That certainly wasn't it. Nope. Nope. There we go. What? How dare he be out of whistling range? Yeah, if I take this shortcut, I think my horse, yeah, that little saddle thing, if I remember correctly. Nope, still out of whistling range. Well, horse shit. Nope, still out of whistling range. Where the hell did I leave that bastard? I wanted to ride around the city on my horse, but looks like that's just not going to happen. By the time I find my horse, it'll probably be time to move on to the next resolution and graphics settings. I think I get like 4 or 5 minutes of each setting. And I would test FSR out, but I don't, like I showed you guys, I mean, FSR 2 is horrible. I don't think too many people are going to want that. Especially when you're actually getting playable FPS already. Because I can tell you right now, turning it down... Oh. My horse is dead, I think. Or stolen. Well, that's lame. I don't know if I'm like a wanted man, I just walk past the cops and they don't give a shit. But alright, why don't we move on to look. Now let's tone it down to 720p in low settings, and then after this I think I'll fiddle with them and see what we can come up with. Especially if all we want is 30 to 40 FPS. But best thing to do it, honestly, just probably play it on 900p medium. But that's pretty much that. Let's go run some benchmark. Well, alright. Benchmark just got done. We got a minimum of 40 this time instead of like 31. Our maximum went up to 85. And our average was right around where you'd want it, 61 FPS. Almost 62. But not quite. So, yeah, I think I can work with that. I think we can get, not 60 anymore if we mess with the settings, but I think if I do my settings, we can still get right around like 40, 50 FPS with probably even a couple settings on high. I'm willing to bet. But hey, let's go get some gameplay like this first. So now, here we go. Here ourselves a little gameplay here. Obviously, it does not look all that great anymore. The textures look very soft. But we're getting over 60 FPS, even with all these NPCs around. Isn't that nice? I'm not gonna lie, I almost turned around and punched that guy in the face, but I just want to walk around and get some gameplay footage. I don't want to have the cops trying to kill me the whole time. But yeah, textures look pretty piss poor now. Look at that road. But sacrifices must be made if you want to hit 60 FPS on a system like this, in a game like this. I'm just surprised it can even do it at all. Now, it won't do it everywhere. As you saw, it did drop down to 40s at some points during the benchmark. I didn't really see that, but I definitely saw it drop down to like 55, 56, 54 a couple times. Again, in like the bayou area. Seems like that with that fog and all that stuff and the water effects and all the foliage. Seems like it must be the hardest place to run. But this place had the most frame time spikes. Probably because of all NPCs. So this, I think, is probably the most CPU intensive part of the whole game. I think this is the biggest city. It's been a while since I played, but I'm pretty sure this is the biggest city in the game.
Hello, sir.
Howdy, partner. I'm curious, if there's a stop sign there, just nope, people don't stop at all. I was gonna say, I don't think people in this game follow road rules, really.
Hello.
Hey, sir.
I'm away, you drunk. It's the paperboard. Electric company. Oh, he wants. Yep, see, there's still some spots that can't stay at 60. But, still, it's not doing too bad. And for a game like this, with a controller, I'm hoping I can at least get like 40 to mid 50s. Like high 40s to mid 50s. Once I start fiddling with the settings. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if that's what I'll get, but... I'm gonna give it a try. Speaking of which, I think it's probably about time for us to go roll on over and try some of my settings out. So I'm gonna sit here for a little while, fuck with shit, and see what I can come up with. So here are the settings I decided to go with. Stick with 720p. Put the textures up to high, because it didn't really seem to be using that much of the 4 gigs of VRAM, so I figured might as well. Shadows low, reflections low, mirror low, don't care about that stuff. Volumetrics also kills your FPS, so leave that low. Particles and tessellation can be medium, and we're not using any FSR because it looks like shit. And I don't like TAA, but it seems to be less intrusive than MSAA. MSAA really kills your FPS. Even though I like it better. On a system like this, I just can't get away with using it. But now, let's run a quick bench. Alright, so here's what my settings got. Minimum of 35, max of 95, and we averaged 58. So I figured we weren't going to be able to hit no 60 plus no more in the average, but that's okay. For a game like this, on a system like this, I think this is probably the way to go. Unless you really just want 60 all the time. It's not like low was a bad way to go either. But, let's go hop in the game and get a little gameplay, shall we? Well, alright, let's get ourselves a little camera recorded gameplay now. Although that's all we have been getting, I'm just so used to saying that. But yeah, we definitely lost some FPS, but this game is mostly about looking really nice, so it'd be a shame to take that away. Ouchie. Hey, you. Alright. I don't know how to jump. So let's go in here. They can't shoot through the wall. But they can shoot me if I run into a corner. Aw. That would have been funny if my gun shot that one dude who just shot me.
Okay, boy.
How's everything with you?
Oh, I wonder. Can I just take my friggin' thing and just place it on someone else's horse that I just stole? I doubt it, but that would be hilarious. Oh.
Let me just adjust this.
Alright, there we go. Now I have a new horse. That was easy. It's like Grand Theft Auto, just Grand Theft Horse. Alright, we spent a lot of time in the city. So let's go and venture out and see what else there is. Make sure it's not going to drop down to like 30 FPS all the time. I don't remember seeing the 35 FPS. The lowest I saw was like 54 or something like that. Well, let's just see. It's not like I can't find this city again if I ever need to benchmark the game again. Yeah, this is like 54. Of course might die if I keep on going. I think that's what that means. Right? That means someone saw me. It's been forever since I played the game, for real, so I can't really remember all that shit. So no, it does jump down like 52 and stuff here. Not the worst thing in the world though. Considering it actually still looks alright. Now does it look as impressive as 4K Ultra? Absolutely not. But no one should expect that on a little system like this. Okay, that is people. I was gonna say, what the fuck was that thing moving? I saw movement. Oh. Well, that guy ain't having a good day. I wonder what he did to deserve that. Who knows? Maybe he was just robbed and strung up there. Oh, there was another heron. I cannot see in much more than like 20 feet in front of my horse. It is quite foggy here. Someone can literally murder a man right up there and I'd never notice. Don't do that, horse. I almost fell off the dang road here. Hey, it's you guys again. Hello. Fancy seeing you guys again. I think I just made a loop-de-loop. And we looped all the way back to Dennis. Anyway, though, I think that is more than good. I already stopped.
You ain't welcome in this town. Not looking like that. Scram. You want to be the casualty? I'll kill you.
Alright, now we can wrap this up. Alright guys, that's a wrap for Red Dead Redemption 2 on the FIREBAT Mini PC. And I think we were able to get pretty good FPS, as long as you're not expecting to do 1080p high native. It can't do that, and I think running FSR ruins it, and it still can't really stay over 30, even with FSR's help. So I would just go with 900p medium if you want native and pretty decent looks, or I still think mine look pretty close to that with like some high settings, high textures at 720p. Although on this big old TV, neither one of those two look very impressive probably, but hey, it is what it is. Most people aren't going to be playing on a system like this, on a big old TV like this. They'll be using like a, you know, like a 15-inch monitor or like maybe a 20-inch monitor, something like that. That seems way more reasonable. And then it won't look so bad at all. It's just this thing is great at making games not look great when they, you know, are all blown up. The same thing that happens when I test games on the Steam Deck and stuff and do the record portion. I look at that and I'm like, wow, that looks horrible. Then I go look at it on the screen of the Steam Deck. I'm like, oh wow, that looks all right. You know, I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. But I'm like, oh, that doesn't look so bad at all. But anyway, that's all for this video. I hope that was good enough for all the requesters. If it's not, just let me know and I can always retry. But that's all for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoy making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.